What's up, everybody? We are back with Bringing the Heat, our MLB special show that we always have, strictly about baseball. I'm Mr. Bradley, and with me is always my great co-host, my great friend. Sometimes we debate, but that's okay. T-Ball.
Hey guys, glad to be here. Excited to talk about some baseball.
Absolutely. We're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about the standings today. We're going to talk about stat leaders, who we think is going to be the home run king at the end of the year, even possibly the Triple Crown, because that's a pretty tight race. As always, I think the toughest race every single year is the NL Central. Not being biased. I'm not being biased at all, but it does have, of course, it's always the Cubs, the St. Louis Cardinals, and yours truly's Brewers, always in that mix, right, Trav?
That's right. Definitely my favorite, league there. It's always the most exciting, obviously, the NL Central. Maybe a little biased, yeah, because you're a Milwaukee Brewers fan and I'm a Cardinals fan. But the way we're standing right now is the Cardinals are in first in that division at 64 and 56. The Cubs are a half a game back there. And your Brewers are actually sitting in third at 63 and 59 and 2 games out of first. So it's getting close there. The playoffs are right around the corner. This is obviously going to be the most exciting division to watch, obviously, as we said again. With Cincinnati only being 7.5 at 57 and 64, they're a fourth-place team that's actually not doing that hot. But they got rid of a little bit of, baggage, as you could call it.
Some drama.
In Yasiel Puig, they got rid of him.
Which makes no sense. He can't get it together on a team. He has a great amount of skill and everything. It's just he's stubborn. And it's sad for a guy that has a lot of skill and can play the position that he plays very well and at a high caliber. It's just... maybe this will be the next team that he's actually sticks with.
So, yeah, he ended up getting traded to the Cleveland Indians. Like I said, had a little drama there in Cincinnati. He had a couple games where he got into that fight, and I guess that didn't sit so well with the Cincinnati ball club because of the past experiences they'd had with him. But he is now a Cleveland Indian, and the Cleveland Indians are actually sitting pretty well in their division.
Pretty well.
They're 73 and 51. They're only 2 games back behind none other than Minnesota.
Dude, they've been ripping it up this year. They've been tearing it up, however you want to look at it. But that's going to be a close race too. But it's man, Cleveland's stacking silently as well.
Well, Kansas City was running that. Well, Kansas City and Cleveland, I guess, were running that AL Central division there for a while. And I think with the addition of Yasiel Puig, that should definitely help the Cleveland Indians. He threw somebody out on a fucking rope the other night. He actually quoted and went on to say, "I don't know why people run on me."
He's got an arm.
I mean, yeah, he's a great ball player. But moving back to the NL, like I said, with the Cardinals leading their division at 64 and 56 on that NL Central, they're doing quite well. We got the NL East, which we had talked about previously in a podcast with the whole Bryce Harper trade and everything like that and going on. And I said this would be the most exciting division to actually watch as far as ball games, which I was a little wrong about. The Atlanta Braves are actually running this division at 72 and 52. The next team, which is very funny. I didn't think with Washington releasing Bryce Harper that it would work in their favor, but they're sitting at second in that division at 66 and 55. They're actually 4.5 games back from Atlanta, but they're still in the mix. I think they're actually in the wild card right now. But Philadelphia at 64 and 58. 7 games back out of first.
And absolutely, don't count out the New York Mets either.
I mean, yeah, with the additions that they had this year, the New York Mets, I thought were going to do really well. I know we spoke about them as well with the addition of Robinson Cano.
And I think I actually picked them to win the division early on before we even got into talking on YouTube. We were just in our audio podcast, if you remember, on Heated Waves, that I think I actually picked them to win the division there, but they're sitting back in fourth place, not so pretty with like 30-40 games to go left in the season. So, but like I said, don't count out the New York Mets. Every single year they're a contender, and with that being said, continue T-ball.
Yeah, Miami not doing well in that division at 45-76. But we move on to another exciting division, the NL West,
which has a couple surprise teams as well.
It does.
San Francisco being one.
Obviously, the Dodgers, with I think who have the best record in the league besides the Yankees.
Yeah, Yankees are just tearing it up.
The Dodgers are sitting at 82-42.
They have the best NL record right now.
Now check this out. At second place in the NL West, the Dodgers are 82-42, but second place, San Francisco at 62-61. They are 19.5 games back out of first.
Dude,
19.5 and sitting in second place. That's amazing.
That's tearing it up. Absolutely. Best team in the NL. And for good reason, good measures. Cody Bellinger's out there just blasting some balls and keeping up with my boy Yelich, man. They're batting it out for that home run record, which we'll get to later. Sit tight. Let's get back to those standings and who else is in that division. Like I said, the Giants have surprised me this season, and they're sitting second. 20 games out, and they're second, and they're sitting good. T-Ball?
Yeah, Arizona coming in at third at 61-62. I think they're only a game back of San Francisco, but San Diego and Colorado picking up the back end there. San Diego at 65, and Colorado at 55-67. Now, I honestly thought that Colorado would be a little better of a contender with the bullpens addition that they were working on there. I know we also spoke about that as well. On the Heated Wavez podcast.
Absolutely.
I thought they were going to do a lot better than 55-67.
Well,
their bullpen looks real good, but I just don't think they're getting it done up at the plate, to be completely honest. So
yeah, basically what T-Ball is over here saying is that runs scored, they have been outscored by opponents by 69 runs. So that tells you something there, that there's not getting any offensive batting going on. There's not offense in general if you're getting outscored by 69 runs. So maybe that's the reason why they're having some trouble there, T-Ball.
Yeah, they're not doing so well. So I guess defensively, you can't win every ball game. You got to put some runs on the board. So,
and that's the difference between baseball and basketball and football. Defense doesn't always win you championships.
That's true. Baseball, you can win a championship with a team that has a powerful offense. You can win a championship with a team that has a powerful defense, but lacking on either end,
especially offensively.
It's different for a National League team because they don't have designated hitters, so it's a little different in their opinion, but the NL is a whole nother story. But moving on to the American League divisions, I'm not a Yankees fan, but like I said, Yankees with the best record in the league. In the AL East at 83-42. Tampa Bay bringing up second at 71-52, but they're 11 games back.
And with that being said, let's look at the run scores like I talked about previously about how Colorado was being outscored by 69 runs. Well, the Yankees are out here outscoring people by 153 runs. And that's probably a lot to go with the big batters they have and just a great manager, of course, and it's the Yankees. That's like the Patriots of football when you're talking about baseball. It's the standard, you said, is the Yankees. And I think this year they're trying to make some noise and let people know, look, hey, we're the old Yankees we used to be, where we were in the 90s going just back to back to back to World Series. And maybe that's the team we're seeing by a difference in scoring here. I mean, they're just tremendously out there. They're the best team at home, 49-19. They've lost 19 games out of 68. T-Ball.
That's amazing. Yeah, the Yankees are usually, as you know, always stellar. They were a little in contention with Boston over the last couple of years, but with Tampa Bay outscoring their opponents by 100-plus runs, you still got Boston producing with outscoring theirs by 72, and they're sitting at 65-59, which that's a better record than some of these first-place teams that we got up here.
Absolutely.
And they're still sitting at third in their division. I mean,
some
the
of these teams
Boston
don't
Red
even have
Sox
60.
are still out there getting it done, and they're having a problem with possibly not even making the playoffs. But they'll be in that wild card contention as well. It just really depends on what they can do in the future.
Yeah, they only got a little bit of time left, so let's get to it.
Then you got measly Toronto and Baltimore. Baltimore at 39-83. 39-83.
Bro, Shout out to Calvin, our buddy Calvin. He's an Orioles fan,
Yeah,
and
he's
been
hurting right now.
Man, he's hurting for the last few years because last year weren't they one of the worst teams last year as well?
Yeah, and they only had 47 wins last year, so they're on pace to possibly beat that. But I don't
Fingers
know.
crossed.
They're not the best ball club.
I'm not sure what's going on there. They're being outscored. Hold on, folks. They're being outscored. Are you ready for this? By 251 runs. The Baltimore Orioles, 251, T-Ball.
Yeah, they're actually playing Boston right now as we speak. So probably still getting a little spanking right now, I would imagine. Moving on to the AL Central, Minnesota, like we were discussing in that division, sitting at the top, which is unusual, 74-48. Cleveland at 73-51. They're only 2 games back in second place. The Chicago White Sox, who came out of left field for me, 55-66. This isn't the best division in the world. It was a couple years ago. Kansas City was running it for a while. For all those bandwagon jumpers, 44-78. There's actually 30 games back out of first place. They're playing the New York Mets right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're probably getting their ass spanked by the Mets right now, I would imagine. So,
no love.
Detroit, actually the worst team in the major leagues right now at 37-82. And they are currently playing Tampa Bay right now.
Wow. 37 wins. 37.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Hopefully they get something done over there. Moving on to the AL West.
Tough division.
Yeah, Houston at 78-45. They actually, a couple weeks ago, they acquired Zach Greinke and added him into their bullpen. Got a trade for the Arizona Diamondbacks for about 4 prospects. I believe Arizona was due to lose like $24 million in the trade, so that's why they got the 4 prospects to hopefully make up for the money that they were losing on that trade. But that adds Zach Greinke into a bullpen that already has Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole.
A tough team to freaking try to hit around when pitchers like that, man. That's good luck. That's all I gotta say. Good luck, man, because that's no joke. Those are some fire-throwing pitchers that probably going to sit down 1, 2, 3 here and there.
Yeah, if Greinke can stay healthy, I would imagine Greinke can stay healthy. They can definitely take him all the way to the World Series, and that 1, 2, 3 punch, yeah, you can get a lot done. And with them already sitting in that top spot in that AL West division, that does a lot for them.
Just helps it even more.
They're playing Oakland right now, and they're already outscoring their opponents by 179 runs. I was a little surprised at the second spot at 70-52 with the Oakland A's. I don't know what they got done in the offseason or what they got going on, but that's coming out of left field too.
Absolutely, which was crazy because Seattle, I think, was pretty much running that division for the first quarter of the season, and I was wondering what they were got going on down there themselves. But I want to hit back on Houston, man. I was actually wrong. It's actually Houston with the best home record at 43-15. My God, they've only which is a 4-game difference, but still, that you got to give the credit to where credit is due with Houston doing big things down there, man. That's what they do in Houston, big things.
Well, they're on a 4-game losing streak, so they need to get their shit together if they want to get a W on the board, boys. Hopefully, they're beating Oakland right now because that's who they're taking on. So we'll see what happens with them. Texas sitting at the number 3 spot at 60-62.
Surprising.
They're actually 17.5 back out of first. Oakland's only 7.5, so they got a shot, but we'll see what happens. 70-52 ain't a bad record. Unfortunately, my second favorite team, the Angels, who I thought were going to do a lot better than 60-64.
We talked about it on a previous podcast.
60-64 Anaheim. What are you doing out here? Come on, you got talent all over the place, and you just signed Trout to all that money. You just gave him all that money,
right? Treat yourself.
Come on. Seattle 51-73. They're basically done in that division. 27.5 games back. Come on. What are we doing here? We got it. I mean, come on. We got it going on right here. What's going on?
We got the Griffey.
They They play Toronto next. So.
Well, maybe they'll have a chance. So, but that's the standings here today. We're just going to give you a little run through on it, and just want to let you guys know. Obviously, Houston's safe at this point in the AL, and obviously the Yankees are safe with the best record in the MLB, not just the AL. And for the NL, the top two teams that are probably pretty safe there will be Atlanta and, of course, the Dodgers out there with the second best record in the MLB with 82 wins, just behind the Yankees. So we'll keep you, updated on that. And when we get to playoff talks and things like that, whenever it gets a little hairier with less games going on, to tell you, who has a chance to really make it. But those are some of the big teams that still have probably a lockdown chance.
Yeah, Dodgers. It could be a Dodgers and Yankees World Series. We'll have to see what goes on there, but don't sleep on that NL Central. The Dodgers don't have the best record in the world against that division. I know, though, if it was San Francisco surprisingly has a wonderful record against that division. Usually when it comes down to like the National League wild card game or something, or one of those playoff games are on the line, and they're facing a team out of the NL Central. San Francisco usually ends up taking it, but keep an eye on LA. Keep an eye on the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs, and I think Atlanta's going to lock that down for that NL East division. Houston's got it wrapped up. The AL Central could be still possibly a toss-up with Minnesota and Cleveland keeping it so close. We'll have to see there. Cleveland's going to have to start scoring a lot more runs, but obviously the Yankees wrapping up that AL East. So
absolutely.